Hello everybody, hope you're doing okay and welcome to Hankley Common in Surrey, which is also near Rushmore. Now I've come here today to do my sort of final preparations to see whether it's worth me running a London Marathon. So I'm going to try 3 little runs, all at sort of my marathon pace target. Now for a sub 3:15 that I need to do for good freight, that's about 7:25 per minute mile. So I think I'll set off at that speed for a couple of miles in each shoe. I've got the Endorphin Pro 2 on, I've got the RC Elite 2, and I've also got a pair of fairly fresh Next% version 1. Now Next% version 1 will almost certainly be the pair that I'm going to wear, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to test these other shoes out. Just at a slightly slower pace than I normally do in these sort of shoe-offs, just to see if there's anything any better. I've also got my first try out with the Hero 10 Black, so I've got this front-facing camera, so I hope you'll be able to frame myself better when I'm talking to you. It's a bit odd because I have to sort of perhaps lower the camera lower than I thought, so maybe I'm not as tall as I thought I was. Anyway, so let's get on with the first run in the Endorphin Pro 2s here. Okay, just done a bit of off-road bit there. It's pretty flat around here though. But yeah, about the right pace. I've done about 2 miles, about 7:20-ish pace. So yeah, not too bad. I'm not sure I can go much faster than this though. I feel really stiff, but maybe the easy week this week. Feel better. Really conscious of how you really need to go off so slowly in a marathon to beat what you think is your not easy pace, because I saw some suits in Berlin today where people are trying to run negative splits run their first 5k faster than any of them. So just shows when you're fresh, feeling up for it, you really have to be careful. Anyway, we'll do about 20 minutes on each shoe and see how we go. See you later. So the Endorphin Pro 2's done. We did about 20 minutes in roughly about 7:15 to 7:20 pace. One watch was different from the other one, about 2.75 miles. Yeah, that felt sort of comfortably hard. The course wasn't sort of ideally great because I did a bit of off-road tracks which were flat, but obviously going to be harder. So I think this one I'll try and stick to more the road. It's reasonably flat around here, but you can see that over across the road where I'm going there, it's a bit of a rise up a little bit, just a little drag up. Quite nice around here, nice and peaceful, right on the edge of Hankley Common Golf Course. Quite a nice golf course that I've played once with CGI Logica. I can't remember if it was still Logica or CGI back then. But yeah, one of the better Heathland courses in Surrey for sure. Right, so I'm going to do 20 minutes, aim for about 7:15, 7:20 pace in the RC Elite 2s. The Endorphin Pro 2, I think they're probably the shoe that you feel like the most similar to a normal shoe, if that makes any sense. They're probably the firmest of these ones. In the way in. Still getting used to this screen at the front so I can see what I'm doing. Some bloke's about to turn around in front of me, so and there's a tractor coming across here as well, so if you hear a lot of noise, that's probably that. Right, let's get on with this RC Elite 2. These are going to feel a lot softer, probably the softest of the lot. Next% ones after that, so they should probably feel in the middle. But yeah, the Endorphin Pro 2's kind of, yeah, sort of nice cruising shoe, but not really a shoe that I ever really thought I would want to take out for a race, but we shall see. So here we are in the RC Elite 2, definitely the softest shoe on test. Done 15 minutes, not feeling that great, so I'm just hoping I'm not too tired for this marathon, but hopefully the lift into the Next% will help in the next one. But I quite like these RC Elite 2s, but I think they're a bit too soft for me for a race shoe. I feel like it's sort of quite comfy, but after a while you may sort of start to feel that dragging you down a bit, if you know what I mean. Right, a few minutes back to where I parked into the Next%. Okay, Next% version 1 in the pink pair on. Can't exactly miss these ones, can you? It's actually lots more humid than I thought, sweating quite a lot. That last one was, got productive on my watch, that's encouraging. 2.8 miles at 7:11 pace, just over 20 minutes. More road on that course, so maybe it was slightly easier. Yeah, so this one I'll stick to the roads and soon get this done before it's dark. I'm hoping these will feel better. Maybe that pace was a bit too quick, 7:11 pace on sort of a bit of off-road. Although if I should be able to manage that for 3 miles, not even 3 miles, 6 miles in total, and I'm in trouble. Right, see how this one goes, and over and out. Hello everybody, got a bit dark at the end of that run, so I thought I'd better come in and discuss the results in this spreadsheet format. So a quick rundown of what I did, not a very scientific one today because I didn't exactly run the exact same course, but I did run for about 20 minutes of what I thought was approximately my marathon pace, or like just trying to test what that is. So I used the Endorphin Pro 2. I didn't do much of a warm-up, so I think that partly explains why the heart rate average for the first one was pretty low and it got higher as it went through. So in that sense, I don't think you can read too much into that. But anyway, I did 2.77 miles at an average pace of 7:14, moved into the RC Elite 2 and did similar sort of pacing, and then 7:11, but the heart rate was a lot higher. But as I did remark in the video, it was quite humid, I thought, today. Probably the last of the decent summery weather before we go into sort of colder weather this week, and I think it's forecast to be sort of about 12 degrees and raining for the London Marathon, which is probably better conditions. When I put the Next Percent version 1 on, I actually ran at a faster average pace of 7:02, but as you can see the heart rate was higher as in compensation, although the maximum didn't get quite as high. I also looked at the heart rate in the last 10 minutes in the pace, and it looked like it actually sped up a bit towards the ends, but again it follows a similar pattern where the average got higher as you went through, so I think that's largely sort of showing the effects of heart rate drift. So I think in terms of the actual shoe comparisons, I think this is mainly one about what did it feel like the fastest and the best, and instantly when I put the Next Percent version 1 on that pink pair, they've only done a few miles that one, so they're pretty much as new pair, even though I've had them for a good 18 months or so, largely been in the box for most of that time. They instantly did feel the fastest for me, sort of most responsive. I think the Next Percent is a good compromise between being firm and squishy, whereas the Endorphin Pro in sort of carbon plated races is probably on the more sort of firmer side. The RC Elite 2 is on the sort of softer side, and the Next Percent version 1 is in the middle, and it also feels like the most responsive. I feel like whenever you land on those, you get the most sort of bounce back. It just feels like the best shoe for me. But I think, yeah, can't read too much into these heart rates today, but I was trying a bit harder there. Ground contact time pretty similar, and the vertical oscillation pretty similar. I've still got this lean to left. I've got a bit of a left hip stiffness problem at the moment, so I'm still not totally sure whether it's actually wise to run. I think what this did show, that trying to run a target pace for a sub 3 hour, which would be 6:50, may be a bit challenging. Although having said that, the first two runs especially there was like half road and part of very firm trail, so there was a couple of dead turns I did in these, so maybe on race day I'll be a bit quicker. But I think looking at this, and if I just want to treat this run as a good hard run and make the good for age aim as the main target, then perhaps I'm wise to try and forego an attempt to do a sub 3, because I think that could end up with me sort of like staggering home. And I've always, in my 4 marathons that I've actually started and finished, I've always finished well. I've only actually done a negative split in the one in Seville, but the others weren't too bad. I think my PB came off about 75.30 at halfway and finishing 2:33.53. And my last one before Seville was 2:53. I went for about 1:25, then a 1:28. So kept up the pace reasonably well. So I'd like to think that I could at least sort of get to halfway, maybe around about just outside 1:30, and see if I could bring it home. But yeah, I'm still sort of a bit apprehensive about this. Is this really a good idea, especially if you've got sort of niggles and stuff? But today was sort of quite encouraging. I think it kind of told me what I thought already knew, that I'm reasonably fit but not quite fit enough, and that's hardly surprising because I haven't been training for a marathon. I've been training for 8s, 15s and 5,000. You can't have your cake and eat it, as they say. So if you want to be training for a marathon, you need to be training for a marathon. But I did do 64 miles when I was in Portugal. And this week I've still managed to do 47 miles, so almost to 50. So obviously if I'm going to do the marathon, I need to sort of taper off the first part of the week. Obviously you're going to do 26 miles on the Sunday anyway, plus I need a little warm-up. So even if I do like 25 miles in the first 6 days, still going to make 50 for the week. So yeah, should I do this marathon or not? I've never been so unsure about something. I need to go and get a COVID test on that palaver. I need to go up to the expo to collect your number, which is another chore. And I think I'm also playing golf on Saturday morning, but I want to keep that up, as it's not really like an A race, as it were. But it'd be nice to think I could actually do a run where I can stick to a plan, because so often in marathons people have a plan and it all goes badly wrong because they go off too quick or whatever, or it's the wrong weather, or they eat the wrong gel or whatever. So I need to get myself a couple of Morton gels. I should have tried that a bit today. I just had some Lucozade Sport between the runs. But yeah, I saw enough today to think I'd be able to get round, but didn't see enough to think that a sub 3 attempt would be wise. But maybe if I
take the first half a bit within myself and see what I've got. Chances are they'll just get slower, but you never know. Sounds a good plan. So I think the next percent version 1s will definitely be the pair that I wear. I think it'll probably be that pink pair actually. They seem to work out quite well. Nice to sort of put into a fairly fresh pair. I do have my original pair at 300 miles, but I almost toyed with using them. But I thought, well, as it is a long way, you may as well put some miles into a fresh pair. Gives you a bit of confidence on the day. And the other two shoes, Endorphin Pro and RC Elite 2, are okay, but your Endorphin Pro all seems a bit sort of okay-ish, but nothing special. And the RC Elite 2 I just find slightly too soft, but both could be very good for cruising. But I think the Next Percent 1 is the best cruiser of all, and I kind of think I need all the help I can get. So I hope you found this interesting, and look forward to seeing the next one. Hopefully I'll be able to have some sort of report of the run, and it'd be rather embarrassing if I now drop out, but equally I need to be sensible, and if I don't feel right during the week, then I've got nothing really to prove, have I? Anyway, so see you on the next one then. Bye!